Let's just start with a fact. The global gig economy is massive. We're talking over 1 billion freelancers. But here's the thing. If you've ever hired one, or if you've ever been one, you know the system is just fundamentally broken. And it's all being held back by one single missing ingredient: trust. So let's really dig into that for a second. What is the real cost of this broken trust? Because it's not just a number you can put on a spreadsheet. No, it's this hidden tax that absolutely everyone pays on both sides of any job. It's a tax you pay in fees, in anxiety, and in so much wasted time. You want to see the most obvious part of this trust tax? Just look at the fees. The big platforms can take a staggering 20% slice right off the top of a freelancer's earnings. I mean, that just guts the take-home pay for the person doing the work, and it inflates the cost for the client. It's the crazy price we all pay for a middleman that we can't seem to get away from. And that brings us to the core question, right? How do you actually fix this? This quote right here gets to the very heart of what Aladdin is all about. The idea isn't to just build a better middleman, it's to use technology to make the middleman completely obsolete, to literally program trust directly into the work itself. Okay, to see how this all works in practice, let's walk through a super common scenario. Let's meet Alice. She's got a simple, maybe $20 electrical problem, a frayed wire in her kitchen. It's a small job, sure, but it comes with some really big worries. Worries that, I think, are familiar to anyone who's ever had to hire somebody for help. So Alice is asking herself the exact same questions we all do. How do I find someone who actually knows what they're doing? How can I be sure I won't get overcharged for what should be a simple fix? And, maybe most important for an electrical job, how do I know it's going to be done safely and correctly? Right now, it feels like a total gamble. And this is exactly where Aladdin starts to change the game completely. Instead of just scrolling through a bunch of questionable reviews, Alice's search turns into an actual evidence-based decision. It's all about building that confidence long before anyone even shows up at her door. So the first piece of that evidence is something called CVC, which stands for Committed Value in the Contract. Now, this is nothing like a 5-star rating that can be faked or manipulated. It's a reputation score that's based on the actual financial value of work a person has successfully completed through smart contracts. And because all these transactions are logged on a blockchain, it's a permanent and totally unforgeable proof of reliability. This is exactly why Alice is immediately drawn to Bob the electrician's profile. She sees two incredibly powerful signals of trust. First, his CVC score is really high, which proves he's successfully knocked out a lot of jobs. And second, he's got a salt and seal tag for electrical skills. This isn't just a badge he gave himself. It proves he passed a practical, hands-on test right on the platform, and the whole thing was monitored and verified by AI. It's not just a claim, it's a credential you can actually verify. So, Alice decides to connect with Bob. But instead of Bob having to waste his time and his gas money driving all the way to her house just for a quote, he uses a feature called Genie Vision Tem. This is huge because it completely eliminates one of the biggest points of friction when you're hiring for physical jobs. The whole process is so simple. It's basically 3 steps. First, Alice just points her phone's camera at the broken wire. Second, Bob, sitting in his own workshop, uses augmented reality tools to draw right on her screen, pointing and saying, "Yep, the problem is right here." And third, based on that crystal clear visual evidence, he gives her a precise quote of $20. No guesswork, no ambiguity. Once they agree on the price, Aladdin creates his commitment layer using a smart contract. And you have to understand, this isn't just a promise. It's a real agreement where both Alice and Bob have actual skin in the game, which makes sure that everyone is serious about getting the job done. Just think about the old way for a second, right? It's all based on these uncertain promises. On Aladdin, both Alice and Bob stake a small refundable amount of collateral using the platform's utility token called $LAMP. Now, this isn't the payment itself. Think of it like a digital handshake. It proves Bob isn't going to flake, and it proves Alice is a serious client. And if everything goes well, they both get it right back. All right, so Bob finishes the repair. But he doesn't just say, "Hey, I'm done." He actually creates objective, undeniable proof using a feature called Aladdin's Eye. This protects him from any potential disputes, and just as importantly, it gives Alice total peace of mind. So using Aladdin's Eye, Bob takes a before photo and then an after photo. The platform's AI then analyzes both of those images and generates this simple report. It visually confirms the wire went from frayed to repaired. See? This replaces a subjective, "I'm done," with objective, data-driven proof. There's just no room for argument. But, what if something does go wrong? What if there's a disagreement? This is where Aladdin's decentralized justice system, called Sultanate arbitration, kicks in. This is not some corporate customer service department. This is a true jury of your peers. So if Alice were to file a dispute, a council of other high-reputation users, the sultans, is brought together. They don't waste time with he said, she said. They review the hard evidence, that original Genie Vision video call, the secure chat log, which is cryptographically sealed on the blockchain so it can't be altered, and the AI-generated report from Aladdin's iTown. They make a fair ruling based entirely on the facts. And here's where it all just clicks into place. This entire trust infrastructure, we're talking verifiable skills, smart contracts, objective proof, and fair arbitration, the very same system that worked perfectly for a simple $20 repair job, scales up perfectly to the entire global remote work economy, from your local plumber to an international software developer. And the scale of this opportunity is just staggering. The global gig economy is projected to hit $2.17 trillion by 2034. That's a massive, multi-trillion-dollar market that's being held back by that fundamental lack of trust. The exact problem Aladdin is built from the ground up to solve. So let's end with this thought. That trust tax we talked about at the beginning, it isn't just about fees. It's a barrier. It limits what's even possible. But what if we can program trust directly into the system? What if we can build a world where your reputation is a verifiable asset that you truly actually own? Just think, what incredible new collaborations and opportunities does that unlock for every single one of us?